Ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for joining me. Again, Derek Lane, your host for the Fast Lane Podcast for Success. Once again, thank you for joining me. Hey, today let's talk a little bit about wealth conditioning, about what it takes to convert over from the mediocre, from the also-ran day-to-day lives, to actually creating wealth, to actually creating money that puts you in the top percentile of people in the world that have money. Okay, however you want to define it, whatever wealth means to you, what does it take to get there? Okay, is wealth possible for you? First thing you need to ask yourself: is wealth possible for myself? I know everybody says I want wealth, I'd love to have wealth, but is it possible? You can say, no, it's not possible. Well, then you're done, right? Then you might as well just say, okay, I've relegated myself to the also-rans. But if you say, well, wealth is possible for me, it is possible, I can do this. So now what do you do? Now what do you do to create that wealth in your life? What are the steps that you take to create that wealth in your life, to provide that success path that you've been chasing, that you're currently on? Okay, nothing changes unless something changes. You get that? Nothing changes unless something changes. In other words, if you're continuing on a path that has not created inroads to the success you desire, then you need to change paths. You need to change your structure, your modus operandi of how you're going to accumulate the wealth that you so desire. So figure out what you're doing, take a long look at what you're doing, and it could be the most minuscule things. This is the trick here, that you could be on a pretty good path, but just not the breakthrough path that you need. And so you can tweak just a few little things here and there. A little more saving, a little less spending, a little more networking to the right people, having a little bit more gutorial fortitude to ask for the things that you want and you need, the things you deserve, finding the right people that can make those things happen for you, working a little harder, creating a little bit more of an idea of where you want to go and how you want to do it, marketing, sales, whatever it is. Now, I'm not just talking about a corporation, marketing, sales. I'm talking about you as an individual. As an individual, you have to market yourself. Even if you're not in a company, if you're just working for someone else and you want to get ahead, you have to market yourself to do that. You have to find out what it is that your company wants, what it values, what it desires, and then you have to figure out how to give it to them to get yourself ahead. If you're working for yourself or you're working to move ahead in your life without a corporate structure, do the same thing. What is it that's going to get you there? What are the things that's going to propel you to the top? So you have to figure these things out, because for each of us it's a little different. I wish I could tell you, but I just don't know you as a person. But you do, and I think you can honestly answer those questions. What does it take to go just a little bit further, to tweak just a little bit more, to be a little bit better than the next guy, to be a little bit better than your competition, but to be the best that you can be? See, because the best that you can be may be head and shoulders above your competition. So sometimes when you say all I got to do is just be a little bit better, maybe you're selling yourself short. Be the best you can be, and I guarantee you'll be loads better than the next person. Okay? So there again, nothing changes until something changes. A lot of people have an act of procrastination. Procrastination is a killer. You're putting off the things that you know you need to do, but you're putting them off because you've got time. Oh, I'll get to it next week. I'll get to it tomorrow. I'll get to it later on. You need to be disciplined and carve out the time that you need to do the things you need to do to keep yourself on the right track. Discipline and procrastination are opposites, okay? So you need to quit procrastinating. You need to get disciplined. You have to be disciplined if you're going to succeed. And success needs to be your thought. I'm not saying give away your being, who you are, a loving father, loving husband, loving wife, just a loving person in general, family, friends. You don't have to give that up. I don't want you to think that being success-driven is mean and cold and calculated, that you got to be so focused that nobody knows you. That's not it at all. Being driven means that you're accepted by more and more people. It means you are expanding your network. You're the most kind and generous person that people know, and they love being around you. And the ideas that you share are contagious, that people want to hear from you. They want to be around you. They can't wait until you show up. They respect you. Okay? You're enamored by folks. So get disciplined, think about the structure, and make sure by all means that you have a game plan. Wealth conditioning can only be possible with a game plan. So I know it's corny, but the old saying that failure to plan is a plan to fail. But I think that is so true. Failing to plan is a plan to fail. So if you don't have a plan, a mission statement, a goal segment, an itinerary to which you adhere to, then you don't have a game plan. You're running ad hoc. So it's hit and miss from the cuff. So make sure that you put your game plan together and you work it. Make sure that you're disciplined. Okay? Also, in your life, when you're working towards something, putting off things and replacing them by, your favorite TV show, your favorite TV show, your favorite, sports show, your radio show, game, console, whatever it is. These are activities that allow procrastination. These are activities that substitute success for entertainment. Just remember that the affluent value education, the mediocre value entertainment. The mediocre value entertainment, the affluent value education. Education is your power. Read, learn everything that you can, especially in the subjects that interest you. If you're after success, study successful people. Be around successful people. Wealth conditioning is just that. It's your own private university of accomplishments. Wealth conditioning is you building a program developed around you that propels you to the top of your game, that allows you to succeed in all aspects of your life. Wealth conditioning is paramount to your success. So I would implore any one of you that listen to this to know that you have to have a game plan together. Read the books, study the successful people that are in your areas, or maybe not even in your areas, but the successful people that you admire and you like. Learn from your mistakes. Don't be afraid to fail. Failure is just, what was it Thomas Edison said? Failure is just one way of learning how not to do something. It was one way of saying, okay, now that I know that won't work, I can get that out of the way and move forward. Wow, what a positive take on failure, that I've just learned to move on. Okay, you talk about a person that failed. Most people don't understand that Thomas Edison failed time and time again. But he also learned how to succeed time and time again through those failures. So if you're afraid to fail, you're afraid of success. Just make sure that your success is more calculated. Again, by creating a conditioning atmosphere, a structure of conditioning that allows yourself to succeed, you're putting yourself in the 5% of people in this world. Most people don't take the time to even listen to podcasts like this. They don't take the time to read the books that you do, to share the videos on success, to find their favorite authors, their video lecturers, go to seminars. They don't do the things. They don't put the time in. And therefore, any success is likely fleeting and temporary. Whereas you, my friend, are taking the time to listen to study, and to learn everything that you can about success so you can be a more successful person, stronger for the long haul, for the long run, knowing that you have, again, created wealth conditioning. So who's responsible for you? Who's responsible for your success? The answer is you. You and only you. Yes, you may have people that, if you're fortunate, take an interest in your success, but they will only do so if they know you're serious about your success. Successful people don't have time to invest into losers. They have no reason to. It's a losing cause. It's a waste of their time. Make sure that the people that you're around know that you're serious about success. Your ideas and your inputs have value and meaning. And also remember that listening to successful people is the most generous thing you can do for yourself. Forget trying to prove how smart you are. You do not need to ramble on about things you don't know about. Unless you have a solid idea, something that is welcome, spend more time listening. The benefit will be all yours. And the more that you keep your mouth shut and the more that you listen, the more you become a better conversationalist. Right, that sounds funny, right? Well, if you're listening and not talking, believe me, the more you listen, the better conversationalist you'll become. Okay, and the more that you'll be invited to the meetings, to the seminars, to the groups that have power in circles. And that's where you want to be, right? You want to be in the inner circle so you can learn more. Tips, tricks, ideas. But ultimately, make sure that your plan is your plan, not someone else's plan. See, that's the trick. Because you're a unique individual. So for yourself to be as individualized as you can be, make sure that you're carrying out your own plan. Okay? So, what are you going to do? You're going to be disciplined. What are you going to do? You're going to learn. Listen. What are you going to do? You're going to become a wealth creator by the means of action plans that you've set forth. You're going to become an expert in wealth conditioning. Conditioning who? You. Conditioning yourself. Oh, don't worry, the things will come to you when you're ready for them. As long as your mind is focused. As long as your agenda is solid, looking forward. As long as your itinerary is set in a positive, reinforcing nature, your wealth conditioning will always be on track. Small setbacks are to be expected. They're not to kick you in the gut and let yourself dwell and vacillate in negatives. They're only reminders that you've achieved a certain click, a certain tier level of achievement. Because you can't experience failures if you never try. You can't experience failures if you never put yourself out there. Try ideas. So once you do that, you're putting yourself out there to learn. And once you learn and you have a failure, you go, boom, I know how not to do it. Again, talk about Edison. All right, so moving forward, you're a wealth creator. I want you to consider yourself a wealth creator. You can even get yourself a business card if you want and say wealth creator. You may want to wait until you've created some wealth, but I want you to have the mental attitude, the mental discipline to think that way. See, once you consider yourself something and you believe in yourself in that manner, then your mind starts to mold your persona in the same way. So wealth creativeness is your goal. That's your mantra. That's who you are. Being a wealth creator. So, with that, I'm going to end the podcast because I think that I'm kind of rehashing my point, and my point's been delivered. So, guys, thank you so much, and girls, thank you so much for getting back with me, for emailing me just some ideas, some things.